Welcome into this week's edition of the Weekly Hatch. It's a very spooky night, or almost a spooky night, here in Bowling Green. I'm Falcon Radio Operations Manager Nate Henners.
And I'm Falcon Media News Content Director Ava Thoman.
It's so spooky we can't remember our titles.
I'm so scared my words aren't working correctly.
Well, hopefully they work for at least the next 10-15 minutes. So starting off with your story, though. Hopefully you can remember that. Collegiate Recovery Program.
Yes, it's all about if BGSU should start one. This story is over 1,000 words. I really took my time with it to really tell a story. It's talking about addiction. A collegiate recovery program is an on-campus program to help students with a substance use disorder or an addiction, mainly this time pertaining to alcohol. With BGSU's history of alcohol-related deaths, as in the death of Stone Fultz, and also just the bar culture around campus. There are over 20 bars on Main Street alone and around campus. So with that culture and even like the Thirsty Thursday type, one tends to wonder why we don't have an on-campus program to help students battling addiction. When I was researching for this, 3 of the 6 MAC schools in Ohio, so half of them, have a collegiate recovery program. Those are Kent State, Akron, and Ohio University. Miami University, University of Toledo do not have one. In a quote that really encompassed this entire story and the reasoning behind it, I will read now. I interviewed John Ellis, the leader of Roots in Recovery, and also a professor at the University of Akron. And he said, in quote, "I'm a faculty member here and I'm in recovery, and I teach classes on addiction. I'm also the addictions curriculum coordinator. When I started here, I started sharing a little bit about my story when we had introductions on the first day of class. Every single time I did that, a student came up to me afterwards and said, 'I'm in recovery too.' Many students came up to me afterwards that year. I set up a meeting with just those students and I said, 'Hey, do you guys want to meet each other?' And they did." End quote. But I think that really encompassed the importance of this program to many.
Yeah, and this has been a story you've been working on for a while now.
It's been a while. I got in a lot of interviews and truly I'm really proud of the outcome here.
Yeah, so what would be the next steps for Bowling Green if they are interested in starting an alcohol recovery?
Yeah, something John Ellis said is that in his time he's seen that students start this. Universities don't really gravitate towards starting something like this that's going to cost them, but when students do it, it doesn't really have any cost, but then once it becomes popular, the universities normally start to chip in. So he said if any students are interested in starting one, please reach out to him. The University of Akron is open to helping start out a recovery program here.
Yeah, and this is kind of a follow-up a little bit to your prior story about how the university deals with alcoholism and addictions, where if you are, I believe, charged with something or you're referred to the university for like misconduct or something, they will charge for treatment.
Yes.
But if you go on your own, you're not charged. Am I correct?
Yes, exactly. And this place is a collegiate recovery program. Is more about, it's almost like an AA meeting. So like it's more about getting together with those students and talking things out.
Okay, so a little bit different than like an actual like almost recovery center, but
and if you really need the help, they can refer you to a recovery center, and actually talk to a few local ones for this article.
Okay, yeah, and so if people do need those resources, where can they find it in your article?
They definitely can.
All right, one of the 1,000 words. All right, moving on to a story I did, moving from your story to my story, 2 stories I wrote. Staying safe this Halloween, you know, a lot of people going to be hitting the town Friday night, maybe Saturday night.
I have those 2 costumes all planned out already.
So with that, many people expected to hit Bowling Green this weekend, and with a lot of people out, you gotta stay safe.
See, look at that bar culture we have.
Yep. So I interviewed Bowling Green Deputy Police Chief Adam Scaff, and he says for the most part, Halloween is a pretty safe night here in Bowling Green. Not too much like violent crime going on.
And when you looked at the blotters, did those say the same thing?
Yeah, so yeah, a lot of it was like kind of like traffic incidents or even just, people being drunk, stuff like that, but nothing like too worrisome, like too random violent crime going on in Bowling Green over Halloween, at least from 2022 to 2024. But he says a lot of the crime that does happen is that kind of preventable crime, where it's someone maybe probably worst case, like someone driving under the influence and possibly hitting someone in a car accident. But he said other things can just be like smaller as a result of someone being drunk or under the influence of drugs or something like that. Kind of like noise-related, parties, littering, and alcohol violations. So he gave some recommendations for students who are going to go downtown and drink. He says, of course they recommend people have a good time. He says if people want to dress up as a dinosaur, more power to them. But he does say for people to be safe. One thing he did recommend people do is having a plan in place of how they're going to get home. And he gave a few suggestions, including walking, of course, have a designated driver, and the university also has their shuttle service, and a few of the other off-campus housing programs offer shuttle services too. So if you're able to get one of those are options if you're planning on drinking on Friday or Saturday, whenever. And another thing he had was employing a buddy system if you're going in a group of people. So he said have like a friend kind of look after another person while they're out. And he was just saying, like, if your friend is walking kind of like goes out in the middle of the road, be like, maybe don't do that. If your friend is just kind of being stupid or something, maybe don't do that. So he said, like, just have a buddy system, watch your friend. And then he also says if anyone in Bowling Green, whether they are out partying or just a citizen, bystander, if they see something unusual going on, maybe a person dressed in a dinosaur trying to break into a car, they can contact the Bowling Green Police Department. Just if you see something, say something. Non-emergencies can be reported by calling 419-352-2571. Then, of course, if a real emergency is going on where you need police ASAP, just call 911.
Yeah, and in order to stay extra safe and vigilant this Halloween, BGSU also released a safety guide.
Yes,
we're switching rules here a little bit.
Yes, they did. 10 different rules, ideas, suggestions, to stay safe. Of course, the first one just being remember to make smart decisions. Be pretty self-explanatory, hopefully at least. Always be alert and aware of your surroundings, even though Bowling Green is one of the safer towns. Bad things can happen anywhere you are, so just be aware of what's going on around you. Yeah. Travel in well-lit, well-traveled groups, kind of going off the last one. Just be in areas where you feel safe and where other people are watching you. Of course, alcohol impairs judgment, so if you choose to drink, know your limits. By the way, the Code of Student Conduct and Ohio law prohibit underage possession and consumption of alcohol, as well as misconduct under the influence. Don't stall, make the call. Get help if you see someone in need. Ask for help if you are in need. And remember, the Code of Student Conduct permits amnesty. Amnesty for students seeking medical assistance for themselves and others. So if if your friend is hurt, but you might be doing something that's not great already, still get help for them, because
that is definitely good to know.
Yeah, because the Code of Student Conduct will protect you if you're protecting someone else. Then the campus shuttle service, of course, going off of what Lieutenant Chief Scaff said, provides safe options for on-campus transportation, and the campus escort service can assist with traveling to or from any location on campus. Be mindful of any part in your costume that could be constructed as a weapon.
If I'm being honest, I don't really know what that means.
I mean, it's probably like
don't put sharp objects on your costume?
It's gotta be like, maybe don't have like fake guns too.
If you're Edward Scissorhands, don't use real knives?
I mean, I'm sure, because you probably have people who do dumb costumes in the past,
you're right.
Like Scissorhands or something. Don't do that.
I was reading that part ahead of you, and I was like, Man, what is going on?
I mean, hopefully it's just to prevent someone doing a scissor hands or,
Yeah.
I don't know, a military man with an actual gun or something like that.
Now that I think about it, this is all possible.
It is. So, if you have an idea of using a weapon, real or fake, in your costume, don't. Or at least, preferably don't.
Always a good idea.
It's BGSU's suggestion. We're not going to tell you what to do, but just be mindful of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Number 8. Consider the impact of that costumes can have, because some costumes reinforce stereotypes of particular races, genders, mental health disorders, cultures, or religions. Regardless of intent, these costumes can perpetuate negative stereotypes, causing harm and offense to some members of the BGSU community. So, a little bit like the last one.
Yeah. Always good to keep it in mind. Make sure you are being mature with your costume decisions. And if you can look at your costume and think, could this be seen as a little offensive? If you have to question it, maybe go with something else.
Have fun, but if your fun might not be good for someone else, maybe don't do that.
There's so many other costumes out there.
Can't go wrong with Alvin and the Chipmunks.
You cannot go wrong with Alvin and the Chipmunks.
All right, number 9, kind of related to that last one. What happens in Bowling Green could stay on social media forever. So ask yourself, would I want my future employer to see these posts? If the answer is no, probably don't do it.
Yeah. Not everybody needs to see your Halloween costume.
Not just that, but there's probably some things people do on Halloween night that...
if you are underage and are drinking, we're never going to tell you what to do or what not to do. Maybe don't post that photo of you with a Truly in your hand.
And putting an emoji over it. People still know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, just think about it, because probably if an employer is looking through your Instagram, sees you, I don't know, doing a lot of wild things on Halloween night, maybe you won't get that job. So just be aware of that.
Remember, college is preparing us for the workforce. Always keep that in mind.
And, people can screenshot things, too, or... Yeah, so, that applies to, your Snapchat story. You can still do, a screen, or, take a photo of a phone with it, so...
Even if you post it and take it down, it can still be circulating.
Yeah, so, just be aware that what happens in Bowling Green doesn't stay in Bowling Green. It can make its way all over the internet. So, just think if you'd like to see... I mean, not just your future employer, but, if your family, if your grandma sees sees a post that you made, would she be proud of that?
I always think about my boyfriend's mom. Would I want my boyfriend's mom seeing this?
Is it yes or no?
If it's a probably not, that's going to be a no.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our final one, number 10. If there's an emergency, either someone's health, safety, or property at risk, of course, call 911. Still, again, reflecting what the police told us. But, if you see something going on, of course, say something, or at least they recommend you say something. And, again, Student Code of Conduct permits amnesty for students who seek assistance for others or themselves for protection. So,
yeah, thank you for those stories, Nate.
Yeah, so there's 10 things you can remember. So you, Halloween... It's a fun night, but
Stay
hopefully
vigilant.
some bad stuff doesn't come out. The scary stuff should be on Halloween,
You do not want to end
the
up on
next few
BGSU
days.
Barstool. Keep that in mind.
The BG, or our next week's paper.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah, so I'll get the reports next week, and you might not want you to be the front page of the BG News.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And talked about in the Weekly Hatch, of course.
And bgfalconmedia.com.
That's right.
Yeah, so just don't be an idiot.
Thank you for that. All right, what's next?
All right, up next, going after Halloween to the Day of the Dead.
Yes, Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is being celebrated at BGSU. It's held on November 1st and 2nd, and there will be 4 total altars for students to use.
Okay, yeah. So, Day of the Dead, the day of after Halloween, of course.
Yep.
And that is Saturday this year. So,
Yes.
after you're done with whatever you're doing Friday night on Halloween, you can celebrate the Day of the Dead the next day.
Of course.
All right, going back to Halloween now with Halloween events.
Yes. Maybe if you want to get out of Bowling Green or you're going back home, maybe somewhere local like Perrysburg and Toledo, there is tons happening. In Bowling Green, Indigo's is holding a Halloween party, and there's also the Distracted Haunted House. In Perrysburg, you can go to the Halloween Spooktacular Party and also the El Vaquero Halloween Party. Bringing it back to Day of the Dead for a little bit.
Yeah, it all relates. October 31st, November
The spooky
1st.
season.
Yeah.
And then in Toledo, you can go on the Halloween Boo Cruise and the Hallow Weekend at Huron Yards. So lots to do this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I will be at home this weekend because I don't really like dressing up or stuff like that.
Boring.
Yeah, I
I
know.
will
You said
be
that last
here.
week.
I did. I'll be here. One of my costumes is Catwoman, and the other is a newsflash. So I'm gonna wear like a trench coat, and then when I open up, it's gonna be a bunch of newspapers. And I'm gonna say newsflash, and they're all gonna be mine because I write for the newspaper.
That's like the nerdiest costume.
I don't care. Imagine if someone walked up to you in a trench coat. You're like, oh god, who is this? And I just go, newsflash.
You're looking your girl. If a guy did that, you might get another result.
Just to be clear, I won't be actually flashing anybody. I will be showing off the newspaper. This is a news podcast. You can't call that nerdy on air.
So, if you see Ava, you're slashing people on Friday night.
That'll be Saturday night.
Oh,
Saturday night is the news flash.
Yeah, if you go celebrate Day of the Dead and go back out.
You will see me news flashing people. There will be a QR code to the Falcon Media website.
Don't be scared. It's just Ava news flashing people.
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be cute.
I really hope someone hears this podcast and sees you do that.
If you are listening to this podcast and you see me do that, let us know.
Let us know.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment. We'll give you a shout out.
We will give you a shout out. If I newsflash you, leave a comment. We will give you a shout out.
Maybe you could do like a QR code to the Weekly Hatch.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna have a bunch of QR codes.
I really hope someone sees this and
You
comments.
should have gone home. I could have newsflashed you.
Whew. Guess I'm missing out. All right. But yeah, that's going to start to wrap things up for this week's edition of the Weekly Hash, our spooky season edition.
Thank you all for listening.
We'll be back next week with whatever happened. If there was anything, interesting, exciting, memorable that happened over Halloween, we'll have that. We'll have
be here to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll have what's going on around campus too, and a busy sports weekend here at BGSU as well. Of course, on Tuesday, Bowling Green Falcons took on the Rockets in a volleyball battle by 75. The Falcons got a win in 3 sets, so that was exciting for them. This weekend, though, we got volleyball and hockey on Friday, both Friday and Saturday night, and then football too on Saturday. So a busy weekend of sports as well. So, between all the Halloween festivities, there is sports. And by the way, between that, over on Falcon Radio, you can check out my Halloween playlist going on Friday to
how spooky.
Yeah, Friday to Sunday. It's a way to wrap up October and get us into 90s November with, some spooky music.
I will be listening.
Yeah.
And you can check out all these stories we talked about and more in this week's edition of the BG News and on falconmedia.com.
BGFalconmedia.com.
BG
It's your
Falcon
website.
Media. Oh, I always tell people falconmedia.com. I guess they're not coming to the website.
Hopefully it's not like a site with viruses or something. All right, anyways, I think it's time for us to get out of here.
Yeah, it's late. We're becoming spooky and silly.
After 9 o'clock, or at least after 10 o'clock, you become like a vampire, I think.
I
Because
do.
you're always out of here by 10.
My bedtime is 10 o'clock sharp.
So, we'll see if Ava turns into a werewolf over the next few minutes. But before we get to that, that's going to wrap things up for us. Have a great week.
Thanks for listening.